was something that I knew I always wanted to do. There was an application that I was filling out, and when it came to the part where it said occupation, I stopped for a second, and it was the moment when I wrote artist that I think something snapped in me, because I wrote down what my occupation was, and I think that was the big change for me. Hi everybody, I'm Scotty. How y'all doing? I'm a painter here in Toronto. I paint around the world, and nice to meet you all. I like that. That's good. I think the first time that I think that I knew I was a painter was, I think it was grade 8, and we used to have to do a lot of little essays about something that we found interesting, and my favorite part of doing all of that was doing like drawings. I would love to incorporate, a page of one drawing and then a written sort of little thing, and I just enjoyed doing that. I just thought like that was the best part of doing the essay. And my mother discovered me once doing that, and all I remember is that she began to scream and run upstairs and was saying to my father that, oh my God, he's an artist. And at that point, I couldn't understand whether it was good or bad. I think we're all artists. I think that what happens is that the art is forced out of us, or it's overlooked or covered over, because who wants their child really to be an artist? Because it's you're irresponsible, you're troubled, you have a lot of issues going on. There's no security in it. You want to do something that you don't like so that you can make money. Horrendous misconceptions, given to children. So I think I wouldn't say I was stifled as a child painting, but I think that what happened was I had to discover that I was a painter. I would do a little bit of the artist thing, and then I would do a little bit of the go back and get a job somewhere, that sort of thing. But then I always felt like I was, like it was a hobby. I didn't want it to be a hobby. I actually wanted to do it, but how do you do it? And as a designer, I got into a lot of beautiful homes. And you saw what money could buy. If somebody wanted to buy art, then at the end of a project, they may want to buy a piece of art for the wall. So I would suggest that they see what I'm working on, and then then my clients would come over, and 9 times out of 10 they would buy one of my paintings. So that was great, and so suddenly I was making more money for a painting than I was for sometimes an entire project. What I do chose me. That's what happened. I mean, you think to yourself, okay, so you get a job as a designer, but every night you want to paint. You have this desire. Something's going on. You're not happy unless you're painting, and I'm not comfortable unless I'm painting. I knew that design job in Vancouver was my last job. I knew that I would never ever return. There was no way. I knew that, when I began to sell paintings for $4,500 and $5,000, and like I say, you become this crazy overnight success, and people go, well, there's no such thing as overnight success. Well, yes, there is. I mean, of course, you work towards. You're always working. You're always doing what you love to do. But then suddenly, in the middle of what you love to do, all of a sudden something happens, and it catapults you into this place where you're getting paid a lot of money for something. And of course, if that's what you think fame is money, well, yeah, okay, great. I feel very lucky, but I also had to realize that I was very talented. When it comes to things that are technical with painting, I don't care that an oil paint doesn't mix with a latex paint. I mix them together anyway, because eventually they're all going to dry. So you're going to get what you're going to get, however it is that they come together. So, teaching me anything technical about painting was kind of not really something that I needed to really want to learn, maybe. Oh, I've burned painting. I've smashed shit. I've broken stuff. I've gone crazy. But I found that if I worked through the process, that was really really rewarding. It's very psychotic. So I drink during that part of the process, where I'll have to have two glasses, two bottles of wine, my favorite wine. And then once I get the process going, and I'm throwing paint around, and I'm covered in paint, and there's shit going everywhere, and stand back, it's coming at you. That's fun. That's the first part of what I'm working on now. And then the next day, it's like you look at what you've created, and then you say, okay, so how do I connect the dots? How do I make all of this work into what I think will be honest, that I think will be painterly, something that will have an aesthetic feel to it, something that will make people smile. And that's what people say to me, that my paintings make them smile. So, smile away. I never worry about fucking up. Ever. Ever. Except when I try to outrun a cop. That's up there with fucking up. If you're going to be in a trendy painting business, then you're only going to last as long as the trend. You like to hope you set the trend, in that case. Whereas with being a painter, you don't have to fucking listen to anybody or do anything anybody says or suggests or absolutely anything. You just do what you love to do, and then what happens is the client comes. They are there. There'd be one day where you'd be sitting there saying, what am I doing? And then somebody pulls over, comes in, and gives you... I had a guy come in last week, and he says to me, he goes, this is your lucky day. And I could go a lot of different ways. And I said, oh, really? And he said, yes, I want those 4 paintings. And he gave me $4,000. Well, you know what? Yeah, that's what happens. And I think we're a lot of young people, not just young people, but anybody, any age, beginning, their chosen artistic career, is that you have to be real about it. I mean, you've got to say, okay, so my paintings aren't selling for $4,500, but I wonder if they'll sell for $500, and then they do, and you sell lots of them. And so it becomes not about the money, because the money is what's always going to be there. You never have to worry about money anymore, and that's one of the things that I learned, is that that it could sustain me. And that was a bonus, because I got to do what I love to do and not really worry about the money anymore. It just all sort of just came to you. If you're a young artist, and if you're talented, and if you're not really sure what you're doing, my suggestion is keep at it no matter what. I would tell them that if they believed in what they were doing, to continue to pursue it at all odds and don't stop. It just becomes a point where it becomes who you are, and there's no fear factor. You just know, you trust the process, that you are going to move on. You are something like with these paintings now I'm working on. They're taking me to a whole new place where I'm just like, oh, wow. And then you say, okay, so if this is where I am now after all of this, then I'm going someplace else beyond this, so that one day I'll want to burn them. And I think it's great, because you're enjoying the experience at the moment that you're creating, and that's really, really what counts. Nothing else counts. How would I want people to remember me? 'Cause I don't really think about this stuff. So, well, the people that love you anyway, so they're always going to have great things to say about you. The people that hate you are going to be the ones that have interesting things to say about you. I think that's how it's going to work. But how I personally would want to be remembered, I honestly don't give a fuck. I really don't, because I know I did good.